PAS obviously wasn't the exact result that we wanted because we didn't come first. Well, we did play second in PAS, which is not a bad result, but it's not the exact result that we wanted. But at the same time, it's always good to not win an event right before a big tournament, so you have that grind set, that work mode, that dog in you, you know what I'm saying? It's
bro, we actually cannot lose.
Better shit on the competition, you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
It's really important that you have that fire lit under you so that you feel like you got to work extra hard before the next event. Well, coming into Malaysia, you guys can obviously see that we're practicing different spots. We've been scrimming in EU multiple days, really just trying to learn as much as we can about the map, because when you play at a particular card in pubs and in comp, you don't see the map the same way as other teams. You don't learn the map the same way as other teams. You have a very rigid structure, and it's all about being book smart. We need to start learning how to be just normal smart, not book smart. Like. So if we can figure out how to adapt our playstyle so that we can be more fluid and work out situations that are unfamiliar to us more successfully, then I think that we'll be super set. That's kind of the thought process behind us looting other spots.
How are you feeling on game day?
Large and in charge.
I think we definitely had the group of death. I think our group was hardcore stacked. Not to say it was too much harder. I think that the groups were relatively even in terms of skill, but ours was definitely the hardest given 4 AM had just won PCL as well.
This is Uba looking to make sure he gets the points. Uba there takes a bunch of damage, and it is going to be 4 AM. The knock, and he is knocked in return. Mime the only one left in this. He gets one. Can he find any more? No. 4 AM.
Honestly, the group difficulty doesn't matter. I think if we have our drop spots for free, we're going to qualify no matter what, if it's stacked or not. So the most important thing was just that we had our drop spots for free.
3 players for Sonics in a really good position to potentially come through this. The way the Sonics have been playing this game has been really impressive. Has to back off momentarily. Alia with this S12K trying to do something, and it's Uba on the crossfire. Alia taken down by Hwin. Zepion finally eliminated. Uba out in the open on the road, finds the shots. Huge plays, but finally Hwin puts him down.
Purdy against H1. Strimsy, does he crawl for info? Do they go for the rest? No. He is the info gatherer. H1 trying to wrap around Hellswan, and he finds him as well.
Well, day one mattered because we could loot Patinga Picardo. We practically qualified after day one. We only needed a couple more points.
And here's our overall standings to get things rolling for the first day.
And then day two, we could focus on griefing 17, which we did successfully. We sent them into lower bracket. I mean, they qualified from there, but it was our best chance at having Patinga Picardo in the finals.
Scared, just defensive, but not scared.
Yeah, exactly. We press advantages that we know are concrete. You know what I mean? Like, that's when we press our advantage.
We delay long enough to where even if we die, they cannot make it to zone.
Obviously, we have a lot of history with 17 Gaming. I actually think they're one of the best hot dropping teams in the game, and that's why they've defended Patinga Picardo for so long. I have this one very specific memory of us fighting them in Picardo, and they timed a push in a way that Strimsy heard a guy pushing his left, calls him out, I peek away for 1 second, and this guy tries to cross the road on my right.
What ended up being a good performance, well, let me hold that fire for a second, because fire's being shut.
And then I spot him in the last moment of his cross. I happened to knock him, but the timing was such that he almost made this wide open cross completely for free because his teammate happened to make audio, or like they calculated it, they timed it, and just stuff like that. It's so absurdly coordinated. So it was just super important to us that if we could annihilate them from the tournament, if we could get in their heads and cause them to not qualify, then it would be really important because we could get Patinga Picardo, and also there's just one less good team in the lobby.
Who cares? We did what we could. We did the damage that we could. We qualified. We're in winners. When was the last time we were in winners, boys?
It's been a while.
Okay, the answer to that is never. But guess what? We're in winners now.
I think the winners bracket lobby was practically the best lobby in the world, just as strong as the finals lobby. I personally just find it very exciting to play against those kind of teams, that caliber of team. I mean, I'm positive we're going to qualify. I just really want to go out there and show my skills off.
Sonic
twice and cannot quite spot the killing suit. The best example is there for the follow-up.
Fight and return. Tiggleton falls as well. Now it's just Shrimsy left alive. Sonics both out as we find ourselves with 11 teams left alive. Sonics are getting obliterated by Na'Vi.
Sonics do get eliminated.
It gets 2 of the Sonics from Summer and gets the drive-by to it as Sonics fall in 11th. Makes it pay the price for that, but Sonics are just done and dusted. SDK.
Wasn't a good day.
It was not a great day, yeah.
I mean, if we're the cutoff with 2 0-point games and a 1-point game, and that's what we talked about minimizing, then it just goes to show you how easily we can qualify tomorrow.
I think it was Na'Vi in winner's bracket, and they just soaked up so many of the points. They dominated everyone to the point where everyone else was left on the leaderboard with, like, you know, we were fighting over the scraps.
Here we are, the total leaderboard. You basically may as well ignore number 1. 75 points.
The teams were so good, though. In this day and age, it's so difficult to just constantly put up good games. So it makes sense that this lobby is so competitive and equal across the board.
Actually, I'm still not doubting. I still have, like, I don't feel, like, nervous that we won't qualify.
Neither do I.
I'm just expecting it. We can show up, do what we need to do.
And finding more points. Sonics fall, making their way up to 5th. Again, should be safe with where they're currently set.
All right, let's talk about them. The grand finalists that have already made it. Na'Vi, Daytrade, Tiamba, Cerberus, Howl, Sonics.
Look, to be honest, it feels good, but we didn't make grand finals in PGC. And PGS1 has, like, the same prize pool as PCS 6 and 7 last year, so it's like, it doesn't feel as important. But it still feels fucking amazing, because these are the best teams in the world, and everyone's trying their ass off. So, we'll see.
So going into grand finals day 1, the night beforehand, Cerberus had basically put their logo on Impala after us, and they said that they were just going to come fight us for it, and they were talking mad smack. They were, like, in the Discord, you know, kind of trying to posture us off, and we were like, these guys are definitely going to leave. You know, they leave for GEX, they're going to leave for us. So we just kind of big-dicked it and stayed Impala. We said we wanted it, and we went there in the scrims. They contested us, and then they left for the actual match.
Yeah, the map right now, I can tell you, Impala is not being contested. Cerberus did concede that position.
We kind of got anti-fed. It's funny. Impala was kind of a blessing and a curse, because the way the Impala games play out, there's 2 compounds that get very frequently fed, because the Circle 4 shifts off the Leonis rocks. What ended up happening in the 2 games that were like an 80% chance that we get fed, it hard shifted into Leonis away from us, and it was like, this is very disappointing.
Side both these solos down into what feels like single-digit health points. They're just trying to fight to see who is going to go out first, because neither of them is escaping from Gen G. H-Win does go out to the blue.
So day 1, I don't know, we were feeling great. Honestly, I think Gen G bridge camping us was kind of troll.
You wouldn't expect it at all. In fact, Sonics are just sending it across. I'm sure they're looking for their potential, but it's not going to be with the same level of scrutiny.
Here we go. Foxy with the pre-grenade, the spray on the Shrimsy, that's 1. Can he get the follow-up? The grenade doesn't hit the car with 2. And now the crossfire comes down. Tamin's got 2 more. Mime here, trying to do what he can. He has to get out of Dodge. There is no hope for him except to escape.
It's like game 3 of the tournament, and they bridge camped us. And then they had like a 2-point game or something. We had a 1-point game.
Tiggleton out in the open, does finally connect, gets the flush, but he's going to pay the price.
I mean, this tournament was so tight in the grand finals. Everyone was playing exceedingly well. It was kind of funny. We just had the same zone like 5 times in a row. It was a bit frustrating for us because it wasn't our best zone. So yeah, it felt like the same teams just kept on soaking up points. We ended up fighting Na'Vi, like, I swear, on the second day, like, out of like 18 games in the grand finals, I think we ended up fighting Na'Vi in like 5, 6, or 7 of them.
Now coming in from the north side, trying to separate from Luminosity, but yeah, trying to leave, they have to go for the fight here. Example does get the knock on to Shrimsy.
Yeah, Shrimsy trying to push with that shotgun initially. Tiggleton is going to be good for 1. The Molly's going to send him back momentarily, but he's got enough space to re-push this angle. Now going to be watching briefly, expecting a player to be in there. Maybe going to be able to stick this res. Uba on the flank. Mime, is he going to be aware of this? No, he's not. But H-Win gets him anyway.
It's very frustrating because they're such a mechanically gifted team. I'm pretty sure the Na'Vi coach actually said to one of us that they probably could have won the tournament if they didn't fight us every single game. And I thought that was kind of funny because I consider us and Na'Vi to be some of the best team fighting teams in the game. Yeah, we were just scrapping. Honestly, this whole tournament, it was like the zones were running away from us and we were just getting 4 points every single game.
Only one player stands, and it is the Sonics Tiggleton. A 1v4 is facing the superstar from the Sonics, but Spiro is ready for him. Throw it just in case
Tickleton's behind the tree, and they're going to spot him. They're going to take him down.
You know, if the zone goes away from you and you get 4 points, you can be happy. But sometimes it's like, you get 4 points 5 times in a row and you're a bit like we need a little bit more. Like, can the zone come back a bit? So yeah, it just felt like we were winning our fights, but it didn't matter. It was all outside of the zone. It was all just like extras, you know? It was points that we could just hope to get, not points that we were meant to get. So day 3, I actually think we left a lot of points on the board. We fell from like 3rd to 8th over the course of the day, and the zones weren't favorable for us. I was pretty happy with how we handled a lot of the games where the zones weren't favorable. At the conclusion of the tournament, I guess I just felt like bittersweet. Actually, no, bittersweet's not even the word. I just felt very neutral. I wasn't embarrassed or upset with how we performed, but I wasn't happy. It was just like, okay, the tournament's over, that was that, you know. PGS2 will be different, hopefully, a much bigger prize pool and Riyadh, a lot of opportunity to make some big plays. So I'm very excited for PGS2. Just looking forward, really.